Hello, 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 and welcome, folks. We are happy to have you. This is our very first inaugural episode of Vino Vinyl Vici. Try to say that 3 times fast. I bet you can't. It is going to be an exciting thing we're doing. First things first, got to tell you a little bit about how we roll. So this podcast is going to be all about good vibes, and it's better than a podcast. It's just a show. We're going to have 3 guys who are from different walks of life. We're going to have the Vino, we're going to have the Vinyl, and the Vici. I'm going to explain to you exactly what that is, but the most important thing is music, sports, and something to drink. That would be the Vino. Listen, it doesn't always have to be the Vino, too. If you want to get into the tequila, I'm rocking with you on that, too. And I want people to understand that every episode, we're going to open up a good bottle of wine. We're going to relax, and we're going to have a special guest for you. And it's always going to be somebody interesting, dynamic, and the conversation, I'll be honest, can go anywhere with the guys on this panel. Who knows where this thing is going to go? But one thing we're going to do is we're going to have fun and we're going to bring the energy. And I think you're going to leave having learned something. If not, you're going to at least laugh at one of our crazy ass stories because it's going to be different. So I want to thank you guys. And I want to start by introducing my guys from the Vino Group out of Nashville. First man up is celebrity chef Stephen Bailey himself, also known as the Korean Farmer, which, by the way, Stephen, I love that nickname. I don't know where it comes from, but I can tell you this. It sounds like a dope, like assassin name, like you could have been in the movie John Wick. And I'm loving that. The Korean Farmer is pretty awesome. So, Stephen, man, tell me a little bit quickly about you and can kind of welcome us to who you are quickly.
Well, as you said, I am a chef here in Nashville. The Korean Farmer part comes not only from my heritage, but we have a 17-acre organic sustainable farm just outside of Nashville.
Beautiful.
That's where we do big farm-to-table events, but most of my time I spend cooking for country music artists, celebrities, so everyone from Luke Bryan to Morgan Wallen. I just did an event with Alan Richardson, the jacked up dude from Reacher. So,
Shut up. He's one of my favorites.
Your body looks just like his, Jay. It's just a little, yours is a little darker. That's it. That's the only difference. That's all I would say. That's all I would say is that's the only difference. But that keeps us slam busy. We're doing private events. We do really cool, special, unique stuff. And it's a blast. So.
I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions about that because I'm a huge Reacher fan. So we'll get into that at some point. But next up, we have a music extraordinaire, guys, a special guest. This guy is a producer. I want to make sure I get it all right. He's a composer, and he is absolute genius. Shota Ike, this man has been everywhere. Thank you so much for joining us. Shota, give me something, baby.
Absolutely. Hi, guys, and thank you, Jay. I'm Shota Ike. I'm a lifelong musician, violinist, producer, composer, all-around music fan, and so stoked to be here to rep the vinyl portion of our podcast. I've been in the music industry for over 17 years now. I can't believe it. I was born in Tokyo, Japan, grew up in Connecticut, attended college in Pennsylvania, moved to Brooklyn after school, and began my music career in 2008 in New York City working on music for advertising. I moved to LA in 2017, where I now live with my wife, Alina, and our dog, Max. I currently work at 411 Music Group, an LA-based indie music publisher specializing in sync licensing and custom music across all media.
Shota giving us the entire.
There you go, the full ride.
Dude, that was the whole Tinder profile. I would have swiped right on you. Like,
there it
definitely,
is.
Man. Like, you see the LA fitted on my guy. He's got some New York in him too. Folks, he was a Jets fan at one time. That's crazy. I know.
Feel my pain.
Oh, and then the last part. This is the Vici part, which is the sports. It's myself. I'm Jay Richardson. I will be one of your hosts and former Ohio State Buckeye. Some people might love that. Some people might hate that, but you're going to think about us, and we appreciate that. I was also an Oakland Raider and had a great time in my pro career, but I'm having a much better time doing stuff like this where no one's trying to fight me. So this is awesome. And I appreciate you guys, but we're going to start today off with the Vino.
All right, guys. Every episode, we're going to have a wine sponsor. Unfortunately, today we don't have one, but we've got a bottle of wine. It's Locations, product out of California. This, I would give it the rating of just a good table wine. That's what I'm going to give this one. It's going to be a mixed blend. They don't even tell you. If a little tip, if your wine bottle doesn't even tell you what's in the wine bottle, then they're just blending a bunch of grapes. But it's got good flavor. Kind of got like a richer blackberry kind of note. But this is Locations, California by Dave Finney. A good table wine drink. Cheers to everyone. And in the future, we're going to have some more awesome wines to introduce you guys to.
That is awesome. First things first, I want to introduce our guests, and I want people to know who we're sitting down with because, and by the way, both of you, Shota and Steven, like at some point, we're going to flip the script and be interviewing you two because I think both of you guys are extremely dynamic and bring some things to this show that I just want to dig into because that's the host in me. But we got another guy that we're going to kick it with today. Now, I want everyone to be excited for our first guest. You might know him from his work on The Karate Kid Part 2, Inception, Pearl Harbor, and dozens of other films. This dude is the real deal. Recently as Chozen on the Netflix series Cobra Kai, which who doesn't love Cobra Kai? That's an awesome series, and you just lined up some amazing shows that everybody knows and we all love. Please welcome my man Yuji Okumoto. Hello, how are you, sir? Welcome to the show.
Hey, Jay. I heard that you wanted to bring in interesting and dynamic guests. I'm here to fill that bill. So, I'm Yuji Okumoto. I'm kidding. Yo, what's up?
I thought that was Chat GPT talking to me.
that was we just kidding, guys. We do not have Yuji in studio. That's all AI.
Yes,
that is his AI representative. No, my man's here in the flesh, brother. How are you?
What's good? What's up? I see Shota rocking the LA Dodgers hat. Yo, go Dodgers.
Game
and go
5,
Raiders.
We're coming.
Jay, I'm a huge Raider fan, by the way.
Up. We still got fans left.
Oh yeah. Pete Carroll, come on, you could do it. Anyway, and then I moved up to Seattle and now I'm following the Seahawks, which you played for in 2010, I believe.
Oh,
so
look
yeah,
at Yuji.
Dude. I follow people's careers. I love sports, and so and I'm sitting next to the Korean farmer. Damn, John Wick, you better watch out. Yo, this guy's a badass.
That's right, baby.
But yeah, anyway, I'm born and raised in LA. Moved up to Seattle about 23 years ago. Own a couple of restaurants up there, and I'm here today. I feel like I'm totally inadequate as your guest because I should be interviewing you guys because you guys have accomplished so much in your lifetime, and so I'll be leaving now. So thank you very much for having me. It's been a great time.
Yuji, thank you so much for being here. We always like to start every episode asking our guests with the Vino Vinyl Vici pop quiz. That includes what's your favorite wine, what's your favorite album, and what's your favorite sports moment. So are you ready, friend?
Oh,
okay.
All right, let's start with the first one. What is your favorite wine, sir?
Well, since I do not drink, I'm not a partaker in the alcohol, but I love a good glass of water.
Love it.
What about food? What if you switched it to food?
Oh gosh,
favorite dish. That's a great.
Oh, whew. I'm a
if
big.
you were on death row and it was happening tomorrow, they were putting you in the chair and you're like, I want to eat blank. What are you eating on your way out?
Damn musubi.
I'd have to go with some good sashimi.
There we go.
That's what I would go with. Good sashimi. But I do love a smooth cup of Joe. So that's my go-to as far as a drink.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So that's
Amazing.
what I like. What's next?
What's your favorite album?
Favorite album? Oh, that's a tough one. There's
That's
so
even
many.
harder almost.
That's the hardest
Lord. Okay, I'll go with my top one. I guess I'd have to go with MJ, man, with Thriller.
Nice.
Classic.
That's got beat it.
You can't say anything wrong about that. So,
oh my
great
god,
choice.
it's got some.
What are you gonna say? Like
good
it's
ones.
Thriller.
Right.
Yeah, Thriller, and then I'll go with also Prince.
Okay.
I'm a big Prince guy, and
Great vibes.
Black Purple Rain.
Oh yeah.
And then my last one, I'm a big brass kind of horns guy.
Okay. Really?
And so I'll go with Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh my God,
Ooh,
yeah.
That's the way of the world.
I
That-
love it.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
that's
mother would
incredible.
appreciate hearing that.
Yeah. So people are probably the young folks say, "What the hell's that? What is that?" Earth, Wind, and Fire.
We know.
September.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
oh yeah.
funny.
And the last one was what's
Your
Sports?
favorite sports moment.
sports moment.
Yes.
I'm a big fight fan.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Are you
since I-
boxing, MMA?
So I dig martial arts and I dig boxing.
Okay.
It's such an art form.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go with. I'm a big fan of Ali Frazier.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Classics.
Ali
again. I love it.
Frazier.
Legendary fight.
And also, since I'm older, I'm gonna go with also George Foreman versus Michael Moore.
Wow.
That classic fight.
That is old.
At 45 years old, this dude
Yeah.
took out the heavyweight champion at the time, which was Michael Moore. So I think those two moments really stick out to me.
I love it.
Is the
Yuji,
Ali
I'm
Frazier
impressed,
match.
man.
Yeah.
Old
Foreman,
school.
Quite a
Moore, I didn't
range.
think you were going to take it there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I
Dude
was.
still hit like a truck, even
Oh.
in his mid-40s.
It's
It was
amazing.
unbelievable.
It's amazing. Gives me hope.
You're on the right track, man. You're there.
I love
Stay
it.
powerful.
Oh man.
Yuji, did you grow up a Dodgers fan in LA?
Oh, huge Dodger fan.
Because it's crazy what's happened. I mean, it is so cool watching what's happening in the World Series. It's awesome. Shota, are you
I'm
locked on
fangirling
every?
over here, big time.
You've
Yeah,
got-
I'm watching every game. Grew up a Mets fan, so this is a big shift for me in my,
Oh, that's
kind
like
of
a
little
betrayal.
sacrileges from my dad's side. But yeah, I came out here, had to put the LA hat on because I knew that's kind of a thing out here. But absolutely fell in love with the team after Shohei came over from the Angels. So I've just been following them ever since, and so excited for them and rooting for them so hard this series.
I think what's so cool about it, and I know I'm not the sports guy, so Jay, speak into a little bit of this, but I just think it's so cool, right? That there's been this like Japanese culture starting to happen in baseball. We've seen it happening, but now like the Dodgers, they have these big time players, and then what's even cooler is arguably the best player, not only right now to play baseball, but ever. And some are talking about potentially could be the best athlete of all time. And it's an Asian guy here in America. Like that, I just love it. I mean, obviously, us being Asian, but I just think that's cool. Like we've not really seen that before. So Yuji, you live in Seattle now, right?
Yeah.
You live in Seattle. So if you had to choose Seattle versus LA,
Oh, that's a no-brainer.
is it?
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. I'm born and raised. I bleed blue, Dodger blue all the way. Born and raised in LA. So
Now, do you come back to LA a lot, or do you?
yeah, my family's in
Oh,
LA
okay.
still. So I visit as much as I can, probably every month. My dad just celebrated his 99th birthday.
Whoa,
Wow.
That's crazy. Dude is a stud.
that's awesome.
I wish I could be half the man as that man.
Good genes.
He's amazing. So yeah, I bleed Dodger blue, man. I can't switch off that. The Raiders and Seahawks, since the Raiders are kind of struggling right now, hopefully they'll get their act together. But yeah, Seahawks right now, that's a
And so,
team for me.
but you grew up in Southern California the whole time. What's the Oakland connection or the Northern California?
I don't know. I just was kind of liking the Raiders because they had that bad boy image.
There you
Because
go.
he
And
wants
I
to be a
think-
badass, baby. Everybody
Yeah,
loves the
that's
Raiders.
right.
Raiders.
So yeah, that's I'm wearing that silver and black.
Yeah.
That was my jam.
That
I'll
was
send
it.
you an eye patch and a couple jerseys, baby. Don't worry, I
There
got
we
you.
go.
Oh, sweet.
That's awesome.
So,
That's
hey, Yuji, I
cool.
wanted to just ask you about your career, obviously, in your industry with some of these films that you've been a part of. Where did that all begin for you?
Wow. It started probably in 1979.
Oh,
Yeah, that's when I kind of decided
You
to
were
segue.
2.
Yes,
yes.
exactly. So I segued into the theater arts and acting and dance because I was a communications major at Cal State Fullerton, and I just wasn't built for that kind of schooling. I just never was into it. I think it's education is very important, and my parents will attest to that. But for me, I just didn't fit that kind of mold. So I had to kind of venture out, and that's kind of how it started. I started doing theater at East West Players back in 1979, and then got an agent doing theater, and then my career kind of took off from there.
Wait, you get an agent, like you're just starting and you get an agent then?
Yeah, it was the right time, right place. I had just come off doing this play. I'll never forget. It's called Indians with Arthur. I think Arthur Coppett was the writer, and I was playing a dying buffalo of all things, and I played a Native American. Not a really big role at all, but there was a commercial agent in the audience. And so she approached me after the show and said, "Look, come by my office. I would love to talk to you about signing you to do commercials and whatnot." I said, "Hell yeah, I'll come by." And then she sent me down the hall and said, "Oh, there's another theatrical agent that's right down the hall that I would like you to meet." So I went over to meet this woman. Margaret Dietrich was her name, and it takes me back to like that old Hollywood. I walk in, literally, she's sitting behind her desk, and then she's got this cig right in her mouth, man. And she's like talking like this. "So, I just wanted to let you know that Peggy Shaver, she sent you down here and said I should take a look and sign you." And I said, "Yeah, that'd be great, But my God, I was trying to figure out where that voice was coming from. It was amazing. That was my first experience as far as meeting these agents, and that was how it all started. She signed me, and then started sending me out to.
So now, how soon before you're like I mean, like when do you start to like make money, pay the bills, or was there like a long churn? Did you get a break right away?
I look at it this way. I for one, don't believe in trying to grab at everything at once. I like to get all my ducks in a row and make sure that I'm prepared just when that break does happen. So prior to that, I had been studying acting for a number of years. And so I felt like the foundation was there. I started doing theater, which is also a great foundation for young people that are starting to get into the business. It's a great place to learn the craft of acting, which I believe that you have to love acting. Because, if you don't have that passion for it, then it all becomes about money, right? And when it starts to become about money, it takes away the fun of it. And then you start doing it for the wrong reasons, I think. So, yeah, that's kind of how it all started, was that making sure that I was just ready to go, ready to get sent out. So I was kind of ready at that point. And it took a minute to start getting stuff, but that's why you got to stay on the train and take that ride.
Was there a moment though where you were like, all of this hard work, the constant grind, the constant discipline, and it was like, I finally got to think it pays decent money or real money? Was there one thing for you?
Yeah, I had been doing like guest spots on TV shows or having small roles and features and whatnot. And it all goes back to parenting too. My parents, I love them. My mom passed away, but they were so supportive, which is so crazy when you think about Asian American families, because it's all about getting education, doing something that's stable, and just doing business or whatever, become a doctor or this and that. But I kind of bounced against that, and they still roll with it.
They were supportive.
Yeah, they roll with it.
That's crazy.
And to this day, I'm eternally grateful and blessed that they were supportive of what I wanted to do. Which it was tough at the beginning, doing these small roles, and then I got my big break on a film, independent film called Aloha Summer, which was shot mostly in Hawaii. and first one out of the gate, that's a lead role, and I don't know if I was necessarily excited about the role itself. I was more excited about spending all that time in Hawaii. That was like, I literally was there 9 weeks in Hawaii.
Oh,
And the first 3 weeks was surfing lessons, kendo, and just working out.
I mean,
And
that's a good job.
3 weeks getting paid. So all that struggle and all that hard
That's
work,
nice.
that's when I thought, this is it. This is awesome.
This is the life.
Oh, yeah. But I tell you one thing. I really appreciate where I came from. Doing theater for these black boxes where it's 99 seats or less, and having 5 people being there in the audience sometimes, you still got to put in the work.
Mm.
You know, those
Absolutely.
5 people, yeah, they paid the same money as everybody else. You got to perform. So it teaches you a real strong discipline in the industry. So when you go out, and granted, doing these small little black box theaters, you have to take care of your wardrobe. You got to do your own makeup. You got to do your own hair. And then after it's said and done, you got to take your wardrobe, wash it, come back, have it ready for the, next performance and all that. So you always have to kind of pay your dues, right? So then when I started to work in the industry, I would go past some of these dressing rooms. They have those trailers, and you look and see who has done theater and who has not. And I'll tell you how you can tell. When you go past a person that has not done theater, where are their clothes? On the floor, not hung up. They just toss all their stuff and then they leave, right? You go to a theater person's dressing room, everything's pristine, hung up on hangers, back where it was when they first walked into the trailer.
Love to see that.
Yeah, so it's awesome. I think that shows the respect that you should show to your fellow crew members, because they do a lot of the hard work, they don't get the love that, say, we do, or the director gets, or the producers. Those guys are really the nuts and bolts that make film work, make TV work, because without them, you got nothing. And so you show them that respect, and that's a big thing for me in the industry, which unfortunately you get less and less of, is respect.
Gotcha. Hey, Yuji, I want to get into some of your projects that you've been a part of, and one of the ones that I saw there is one of my favorite films. I'm very big into the mind benders and all of the crazy stuff, the abstract concepts. So when I saw Christopher Nolan's film Inception on there, I was like, wow, what was that like to be a part of a project like that? What interested you in that project, and what did you take away from Nolan as a director and as a creator?
Yeah, that kind of fell into my lap, honestly. I had auditioned for it, and then I just kind of, forgot about it. All of a sudden, my agent gets a call saying, they're having problems with a visa, getting an actor from Japan to come and do this particular role that I happened to audition for. And so I said, oh, great. Yeah. So they would want you to come in and play this role. And I said, oh, great. So I go in, and it was astounding. This Christopher Nolan is a true visionary, and he believes in using a lot of practical sets and all that. My God, when I walked into that big ass set where the water comes cascading down on Leo and all that stuff, it was astounding. It was amazing to just be on that soundstage and seeing the kind of work that he puts in to these sets, just the sets, right? And then I walk into where they're shooting this particular scene where DiCaprio gets dragged into the room and put in a chair, and so I was just amazed at just the visuals, just the table, the lighting, just the way it hit. It's just incredible, the detail that man possesses, and to keep it all up in here and really bring it out in his films. It was amazing. So it was really a real treat for me just to be in the presence of a genius in the industry.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
It's amazing.
What was it like working with Ken Watanabe?
Oh yeah, he was great. Just to give you some backstory, my Japanese is kind of like children's Japanese.
That's what I
right?
say. That's what I say about my Korean. I was like, I've got
I'm
like
worse.
3-year-old Korean.
So when I traveled to Japan before, and when I spoke to people there, they all kind of chuckled at me and said, "Oh, your family must be from Hiroshima." I said, "How'd you know?" They said, "Well, because your Japanese is kind of like country."
That's a nice way
Wait,
to
are
put
you
it.
are you insulting me? Wait.
Yeah. Are you calling me stupid?
Yeah. So anyhow, so when I was doing this dialogue, I had translated the dialogue and through a translator, a friend of mine. And then when I started to do the stuff, Ken says, "Oh, that's not right. This is during rehearsals, and we're ready to shoot this thing, right?"
Right.
And he said, "Oh, that's not right. Here, let me talk to my translator, and then he'll write it out." I don't read kanji or anything like that, too.
No.
I'm like, "What is this stuff? Can you write it out like in Romaji, and so I could actually see it and say it?" And so he goes, "Oh yeah." So he writes out all this stuff. I'm on. Oh, are you serious? Look at So I had to set myself off to the side and try and memorize this dialogue, which it was like Latin to me, which I don't speak at all. So I went in and said, "You know what? Screw it. I'm going to do my best, and that's all I can do." And so I sucked it up. Said, "You got this." So I started doing the Japanese, and it was fine, But God, that was so freaking stressful. When you get it on the set, like 5 minutes before you're supposed to shoot this thing, here you go. It's like, oh man,
That's what's crazy to me with actors who like take on a completely different persona, a completely different accent, a completely different everything. Have
The
you done
method
any
actors.
roles? Yeah, like that kind of. Have you done any roles where you had? I mean, obviously that where you are speak, but I mean, actually, they're kind of hiring you, thinking you look the part of someone speaking Japanese.
Right.
Have you ever done anything where it's way outside?
No, I think most of the roles are it's all done through experience because, you run into a lot of different people in the industry and in your life in general. And, whatever accents, whatever dialect that you have, you can always pull from your experience and I have a decent ear when it comes to all that stuff. So, there's stuff I had to do where I play a good old boy from Texas doing this pestilence character in Wicked Prayer, one of the Crow movies.
Yeah.
And, so those are the kind of fun roles,
Mm.
and it's funny that you bring up the whole accent and all that stuff, because a lot of people, when I meet them on the street because they're fans of Cobra Kai or Karate Kid, they say, "Wow, you speak really good English." And I'm thinking, I was born in SoCal. Yeah, of course I'm supposed to speak good English. So it's funny that, doing these kind of different languages, doing dialects, it's all about acting and performance. So, as long as you have a good ear, I think you can get by.
So I got a question for you because I'm always curious with people in the movie industry, like your inspirations. Like for me growing up, I think I grew up on like Denzel Washington and De Niro, watching Goodfellas and movies like that. What were some of your movie inspirations growing up, and specific actors or actresses that you were like, man, I really love their work?
The one actor that stands out to me is it's a character actor named Gene Hackman.
Oh.
Yeah.
That guy is so phenomenal. Anything he does, it's just the little nuances that he brings to his characters. And it doesn't matter that probably some of the stuff he's doing for a paycheck, because the movies themselves are not the greatest. But I tell you one thing, he commits. And I really appreciate that. So as a young actor watching his performances in movies,
Oh,
it's incredible. So
He was an enemy of the state with Will Smith. He was amazing in that.
exactly.
or even if you go to like Superman,
Yeah.
like
He
he's
commits.
committed to Lex
He
Luthor.
commits.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing about the industry. If you do not commit, if you don't go full on to these and accept these characters and believe in these characters, it's going to look bad. It's like
Yeah.
singers kind of going through the motions. You have to commit. It's like athletes going through the motions. It's going to look bad. Don't take a break. Go full out. I appreciate athletes that just give it 100% every single play. Does not matter. They go 100%. Hit a ground ball. You run it out 100%.
Yeah.
That's the kind of grit and determination that I kind of want in my life, and I try and instill in my children is that kind of determination, because especially being a minority, there's a lot more expectations, I think, for us to kind of raise that bar. It's not easy, and that's why when I started, I wanted to compete against the best of the best. Right? You can go to these Asian American theater companies, which is great. It's a great starting ground. But I wanted to compete against the best,
Mhm.
whether you're white, black, brown,
Totally.
yellow, it didn't matter. I wanted to go against the best, and I wanted to learn from the best. So to me, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I mean, that is such a great lesson in life because, you talk about being a family man, the lessons for your kids. Earlier, you're talking about the difference between having a passion for it versus doing it for the money. And I think that's what happens, whether you're a musician, sports, and even chef. Like if you're doing it just to get the paycheck, you lose a little bit of it. You maybe half-ass some stuff. You know no one's watching. I kind of give it 60% versus I'm going all the way out. And it's we've had this conversation with my two daughters,
Mhm.
which is, even if no one's paying attention, you're doing it for you. Give it 110%. Go after it. And anytime you're chasing the money, it never works. It
Right,
never works
right.
out.
Yeah, there's. I'll give you a case in point. Circling back to acting and who I looked up to. There's the simplest moment where you use what's given to you, what's real in the moment. And going back to Gene Hackman, there's a movie called Quick and the Dead.
Okay.
It
Yes,
starred
yes.
Leonardo DiCaprio,
Sharon Stone.
Sharon Stone.
Yeah.
But there was a moment that Gene Hackman is sitting at the other end of this table and having a conversation with Sharon Stone. And he picks up his wine glass and he's talking to her and he's looking at the wine glass. And then all of a sudden he kind of looks like, oh, there's something in there. Right. But see, most people would just kind of let that go. They wouldn't think about it. They just drink their wine because that's what you're supposed to do. He took that moment and he looks at it and he goes, huh. And he's still talking. And he takes his piece out, and it was probably a piece of cork in the wine. But it was just that those little moments, and he continues and he uses that,
Mm.
and that to me is amazing when you think about those little moments. And so when I look back on Gene Hackman's career, it's those moments that I look for in every performance that he does that I want to put into my characters that I play. So,
Now
Incredible.
you have a foundation that's working with young people in the industry, right? Was that like how long's that been going on? Was that like were your daughters kind of an inspiration for that?
yeah, it was my mother-in-law.
Okay.
When she passed, I looked at my wife and I said, your mom was really big on education, and so I think we should do something in her honor. So that's why we started this Kona Ohana Fund, which was a nonprofit to help with scholarships to whatever needs for education that these young underprivileged kids needed. It started out to be that, and then it kind of segued into more of helping people. And the first one donation out of the gate was when the Maui fires hit.
Ah,
We jumped in and wanted to give back somehow. So we gave to the first responders' families, which hit home because you think about these firefighters and police officers who were fighting those tremendously tragic fires, and they would look over, they're fighting a fire and they're looking over at their own houses burning.
mm,
And it's so heartbreaking to see that and witness and hear their stories. That this is the first one out of the gate for, and my wife's name is Angie, so we decided to do that and help out with some of the victims by doing we sponsored a food drive for
Okay.
one night, and it was with Maui Streetery, and they had this truck, and we had all these food boxes that we would put together and then pass out to people that would come and needed food. So that's what we did. But that was initially education driven, but then we decided, you know what, we're here to help people. And so education is really a slippery slope because how do you decide what one person
Right.
that did this speech or this story and wrote all this stuff, and then there's so many qualified people or kids out there that we thought, well, we need to pivot a little bit. So we just want to give back and help people. And so our focus is now on the arts itself.
okay.
So I've always been a firm believer on giving a leg up to a lot of these young filmmakers that are starting out, and they don't have the budget, they don't have the money, they don't have the resources necessarily, but they want to get into filmmaking, right? And they show a great passion for this. So I decided, well, maybe we should start kind of focusing our attention on helping these art houses kind of
Okay.
survive if they need help, just donating to them and to their nonprofit and all that. So
Now, is this focused in Hawaii, Seattle, LA, all over?
it's all over.
Okay,
Yeah,
very
it's
cool.
anywhere that Angie and I see a need that we'd probably help them out, and so that's kind of why we decided to pivot, because it just seemed like the better place to be. Because for me, I love helping out these young filmmakers, and so whenever they need they ask, I said, well, I'll fly down to LA. I got two projects that I'm doing in LA next month. They're two or in November December, sorry. They're two independent filmmakers that called me up and asked if I would be willing to come down and help with their project. And so I said, sure, sure. So they sent the script, and then I said, yeah, I'll fly myself down and put myself up, and uh, whatever you need, just let me know, and I'll try and help you out in any way I can. So that's kind of our focus now with this nonprofit.
Very cool. Very
Good
cool.
on you, Yuji. Like you're clearly setting the example for all of us, and I thank you for that. Like, will you tell us a little bit more how people can help on that front?
Yeah, they can donate to go to Kona Ohana fund.org,
Okay.
and we have merch on there also from our restaurant and from the show Cobra Kai.
Nice.
There's gear I put together, Team Chozen shirts and all that.
Nice.
So it's another way to give to the fund itself, and all proceeds go to directly to the Kona Ohana Fund. So
Amazing.
yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah, but I'm sure you guys have done, same kind of stuff. And it's right, it's about giving back. I
Oh
mean,
my goodness.
we have success in our lives, and you always want to thank those who kind of paved the way for all of us to have success. So
100%.
I think it's important. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think you all have your things that you guys do, and I think that's all very, very important. It doesn't matter. It's what you believe in. It's your passion.
Well, what's interesting is there's kind of been this little theme that's happened throughout today's episode talking about not chasing the money. And, a unique perspective that I get is I am not only cooking for celebrities, but some of the wealthiest people, not only in like Tennessee, but the country.
Right.
When you start, getting around multimillionaires and even billionaires, you're talking about people who've truly made it, like more money than everyone in this room would ever see combined, right? And you see that once they have all that money, it's not fulfilling. There's no joy that comes from it. And what's the first thing they want to start doing is they want to do something with purpose. They want to do something that gives back. They want to connect and help other people because that is fulfilling. So I love when you're talking about, your fund, you're talking about raising your daughters, all this, you start to realize like that is really what life is about.
Exactly. So, yeah, you do what you came on this earth to do, which is to give back. That's what I believe, right? We are truly blessed. When you get in a position to give back, that should be the focus.
Let me tell you a little bit about stem cells, folks. Okay, back pain, hair loss, can't get that thing up, no problem. I've got an answer for you. And let me tell you, for over a decade, R3 Stem Cell has been offering regenerative stem cell and exosome therapies that harness the body's regenerative capabilities to bring patients hope.
Hope that surgery can be avoided and tissue injury can be repaired. So you can do things like play with your kids again, go hiking, swimming, ride a bike, and most importantly, be pain-free. That would be awesome. Existing pain management therapies have been great for suppressing pain by masking discomfort, but they use things like medication, cortisone, opiates, and things like Advil, ibuprofen, the Tylenol, that kind of stuff, not good when you're trying to live a healthy life. These treatments work well for relief, but they don't actually fix the problem.
We've all been through that. R3's procedures help repair, regenerate, and restore damaged tissue rather than simply mask or suppress symptoms like most traditional medical therapies. Their therapies include over 20 customized protocols which are catered to each individual's particular needs. You can check out all available options at r3stemcell.com. And they are the largest provider of regenerative therapies with over 80 centers in 8 countries.
R3's mission since inception has been to provide the highest quality biologics with the highest level of safety testing combined with the highest affordability globally.
With hundreds of success stories on R3's YouTube channel, you can see how people are achieving pain-free living, breathing, easier walking, and also getting back to their social sports and activities. That's always going to be important. So I'll say it one more time. Make sure you guys head over to r3stemcell.com and schedule your free consultation.
Because it's called Kona Kitchen?
Kona Kitchen.
Your restaurant's Kona Kitchen.
I started this whole venture was because of the inspiration I had from my uncle who had a catering business in Hawaii that he did.
Okay.
And so he had a truck and he would have a sandwich board and just on King Street and just say, hey, come check out my, food and this and that. And people would say, oh yeah, shoot, where's your place? And it goes, oh, come around back. So then they go, okay, we'll go back. And then he'd put his board down and he'd run to the truck and he'd get in his truck and then he goes, okay, what you like? And then you're like, wait a second, weren't you the guy that was out? But that's the kind of stuff that he did. And I said, dude, I respect that.
So now
That's awesome.
did he come over and start Kona Kitchen or did you go, we want to do some of these family recipes and bring it over to Seattle?
Yeah, that's kind of how it all started. I said, yo, can you help me out? And we're thinking about doing the restaurant, and he had a lot of experience in the restaurant business. And so he came and flew out and started to kind of put together the menu and the recipes and all that stuff. And that's kind of how it all started. And, and I was in that kitchen. I had to learn every little food thing, recipe thing. I was in the back making the stew and making the chili and all that stuff. So I was there pretty much 24/7 along with my wife and my mother-in-law, just grinding away. And it's like one time everybody kind of in the kitchen walked out, right? They got other gigs, and they said, "Oh, we're gonna go to this other place." And I said, seriously, so everybody walked. So it was me and this other guy, two of us. We're in a full kitchen, and then doing all the prep, doing all the shopping, doing all the cooking when people came in, and we were grinding. I mean, I was working probably 90 hours a week doing this stuff. But see,
Wow.
that's where my parents instilled that work ethic,
Yeah.
and said, you start this thing, you got to see it through.
Mm-hmm.
So, and my wife was raised the same way.
Wow.
She was raised to work her ass off, sacrifice, do whatever you can to succeed. So that's what we did.
Now, you guys have been around for a super long time, 20 plus years.
23 years.
So the big shift pre-COVID to post-COVID, right? Like restaurant industry took a ginormous hit. Inflation, food cost has gone
Skyrocketed. Yeah.
skyrocketed. So like for y'all, would you say, is it better or worse? What would you say are the big differences? I mean, you were established, which was nice, I'm sure, but going into this kind of new era of restaurants and how things have changed.
Yeah, that was a tough transition, but luckily for us, our food is kind of built for to go,
Okay.
and so we shut down pretty quick. Washington State was one of the first places to get hit by COVID, and so we had to immediately switch gears, and it was a tough time. Not only did we have to do all this transition, but my wife's mom and dad both passed away from COVID
Sorry.
right at the beginning.
Wow.
So, and she was the matriarch of Kona Kitchen.
Hmm.
So, having lost her, my wife and I are just looking at each other. Well, what the heck are we going to do now?
Right.
But we kept grinding and said, look, we got to transition. We got to start doing to go. And this is what we got to do. And so that's what we did. We made it through. Our customer base, thank God, the goodwill that we had established kind of pulled us through. And,
Amazing.
we were operating at like 40% probably. But all we cared about was making sure that our employees got paid.
Mm.
And that was the big thing for us.
Respect.
All right, so Jay Shota and I come to Seattle. We go to Kona Kitchen. What are we ordering? What's at the table? Like, what's the must-have?
Our breakfast is pretty damn good.
Really?
Yeah, we have all these different things. Hawaiian sweet bread, French toast, and Portuguese sausage, and
Hell yeah.
all the comforts of home. Our omelets are really great, and for lunch and dinner, a lot of people like our mochiko chicken,
Okay.
Korean chicken. We have kalbi. We have
Love it.
all these different kind of Asian influenced,
That's fun.
Hawaiian kind of influenced types of
You got to
food.
have some Spam on that menu.
Gotta have that spam.
There we
Spam
go.
musubi for sure.
Loco
Moco.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So those are the go-tos, the staples of pretty much Hawaiian food.
I love it.
Okay, I'll tell you real quick. Spam in Hawaii is like steak. It's Hawaiian steak. And
Spam?
Yeah, spam.
Yes.
I tell you,
Everywhere.
spam in Hawaii, that's
Yeah.
a huge thing.
Huge.
So we
Musubis,
started
yeah.
doing spam musubi and
Oh,
as a
yeah.
combination plate. And I thought, oh, let's just do a combination. We'll put spam musubi on the plate with all this other stuff. And a lot of the spam musubi were getting sent back because they didn't know what it was. They didn't really like it, whatever. And we're having to toss this stuff. And I'm thinking, oh man, there's no way I'm going to do this. And again,
Yeah.
this is sacrilegious.
No, yeah.
We ended up kind of taking that off and just having, individual spam musubis if they wanted to order.
Okay.
That's
And people started to come around. They started saying, ooh, this is actually pretty good.
Oh yeah.
And then they got into the Portuguese musubi too, Portuguese sausage musubi. They started liking that. So, it took a minute, but we got them to come around.
Oh,
Give him a
man.
taste. Good on you.
That's
That's
right.
great. Respect.
Taste of aloha.
Americans just don't. They're not as well known as. It's a better hot dog. That's the best way to.
There
put it
you go.
together.
That's the best way to sell that.
It's a better
I can
hot
get
dog.
with that.
It's a more versatile hot dog. You can slice it, you can fry it, you can do all that kind of stuff. Like Spam, like I grew up. That's
Oh, I love it.
most Asian American. Like you're really that's a staple.
Staple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spam fried rice.
Spam fried
That's
rice,
the way.
spam American cheese and hard fried egg sandwich.
Yeah.
All that.
I mean,
Yep.
spam and
Yuji,
kimchi. That was like
I'm learning all the cultural differences right now.
There you
This is good. Because I came up on like, packets of ramen noodles. Like that was just what we ate.
we did
put
that too.
spam
I
on-
did that too. Yeah.
That
we
goes
would put spam on the
noodles.
ramen.
Yeah.
So
With
we weren't
the
that
egg.
creative.
Yeah,
We would just chop up little pieces of actual hot dogs and toss them in there if we had to.
No, that was like when I went to college and I saw all my, white roommates and stuff making their ramen. I'm like, all right, now what's all going in? What are we putting in this ramen?
Step
They're
it
like,
up.
what do you mean? They're like, just the
It's
water.
done. It's ready.
I was like, what?
You got to dress it up.
We got to dress it
Green
up.
onion, a
All
little
of it.
egg,
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yuji, I'm a Hawaiian mac salad junkie, and I can never, every time I go over there, I eat it, to the max, and I come back and I'm loving it and want to make it at home. I can never get it right at home. What is the
Yeah.
secret to making incredible, authentic Hawaiian mac salad? If you
Well,
would, give us the secret.
our customer base is pretty much addicted to our mac salad.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's
gotta go.
crazy. Yeah. So our secret ingredient is actually crack. So I noticed that if you
That's
put
what-
crack in
A
there,
little bit of sprinkle of it.
heard that's pretty
people
good.
get
Yeah.
addicted.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. I don't know how it just happened.
Just a
sprinkle of
sprinkle.
crack.
No,
Okay.
so I'm not a big, huge mayo kind of guy.
Okay.
Okay.
I like lighter mayo,
Okay.
and so for our mac, we go a little bit lighter. In Hawaii, it's like
It's creamy.
sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but a lot of mayo, and
Yeah.
But that's our kind of little secret is we go a little bit lighter on the mayo, and put our little touches and whatever into our mac salad.
What are all the main components that you put in your mac salad?
Well, if I told you, I'd have to kill you.
Leave a couple out. Leave a couple out.
No, it's just you got to have stuff that's like fresh.
Yeah.
I believe.
Mhm.
So if you put some, little carrots
Yeah.
and and maybe some celery,
Yeah.
give it some crunch,
Yeah.
and something a little sour like dill or something, then it gives it that pop. And
Yeah.
that's what we do is just make it a little fresher. If mac salad can be fresher,
Right.
it's probably all like bad for you, but
It's all good.
Hawaiian food is not the place that you go for like a healthy meal. It's like a hearty meal. That's
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
call it.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Stephen, you might be able to chime in on this too. In the athlete community, we've got so many guys that want to start restaurants. They always want to start businesses once they get that first big contract, and you'll see guys want to figure out, what business do I want to get into, and so many of them choose opening up restaurants. It becomes like a theme wherever their city they're from. Here in Columbus, you got Eddie George has his grill, and you go, to Austin, and you'll see the same thing there with different guys that have played at UT or professionally. What advice, and this is really for both of you, would you give a pro athlete who's trying to start into the restaurant industry from literal scratch, and all they've got is a pocket full of money and their face and brand? Where does one begin?
Don't do it.
That's it.
Don't do it.
That's literally what I was about to say.
Don't
I was literally about to say, don't do
run
it.
away.
That would have been I would have said, the only caveat I would have said is don't do it unless it's the only thing you can see yourself doing.
That is very true.
That would be my advice. But I was literally thinking, don't do it. And then Yuji beat me to it.
I think honestly, you have to have a true passion
Yes.
to want to do this.
Yes.
This has got to be the end goal,
Mhm.
because that's what it takes.
Mhm.
The blood, sweat, and tears. It's not just opening up a joint and saying, well, it's open. I'm going to just go gallivant around and be a big shot. Just say, I have a restaurant. Go see. That's not how it goes. You have to physically be there.
Yeah.
That's what it takes. You have to make sure the quality control is there every single day, and that's what you got to do. Eventually you might be able to start pulling away
Mhm.
and doing your own thing and having somebody else manage it, who you trust. And that's the big question. trust, right? You got to have somebody who you can trust. And that is something that I've learned throughout this course of doing something like this.
Okay.
Yeah, but you have to be there all the time. You think about, okay, remember Planet Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Okay, you had those big time actors, Bruce Willis, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone opened this big Planet Hollywood, right? And that was the thing. It's like, oh man, I got to go check this out. It failed. You know why it failed? Because they opened it and they left.
Yeah.
They left. You have to be there. And, it's that consistency. That's why my wife, my mother-in-law, and myself, we were always at the restaurant. They want to come in there and eventually have it like Cheers, where I said, hey, how's it going? They want people to greet them and say hi and familiar faces. And so, if you just say, oh, I think it's glamorous. I think it'd be a lot of fun to open up a restaurant. Yeah. It's a lot of hard work and dedication, right? You of all people should know also the same kind of grind.
And food has this weird thing. It's a lot of sex appeal. It's sexy food, the steakhouse, having you Kona Kitchen, you got this restaurant, you own that restaurant. Like it's so much sex appeal. And then behind the scenes, it's grease traps and people bailing on you and the toilets clogged and what do you mean you sent me, fish instead of steak or vice versa? Or it's a nightmare.
I remember working on the line and it's hotter than hell on that line.
Yes.
And we're just like swamped with tickets galore. And then somebody from the front of the house comes over and says, hey, there's some fans that want to meet you at table 5. Can you come out and say hi to them? I said, sure. Okay. All right, give me a second. So I go out there. I'm like probably dripping sweat. Right. I look like hell. And they're kind of looking at me and says, what the hell is this? I thought I was going to meet Chozen. Who are you? So that's what it takes. It's just hell. And you made that point clear because it's not just glamour. It's like cleaning out the toilet. Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah. And it's not pretty.
Yeah. So it's not sexy.
Not at all.
Not at all.
And
now,
that's what so many guys think.
I will say, though, when it all clicks, right, when everything lines up, there are those moments where it is so special and so wonderful, right? It's your fans who have been eating Kona Kitchen for the last 10 years. It's when we're doing 130 people under the stars and we're cooking by wood fire. There are those moments where it is absolute magic, but to get to that magic, right? But I don't think it's unique necessarily to food, right? It's how many hours in the studio, how many hours practicing until that game-winning, like that
when
is
you have
like,
that moment.
Yeah.
There is moments.
Yeah. You know the moment, I'll tell you the moment that I thought, oh, I think I finally made it, and Kona Kitchen is kind of on the map, is when somebody came up to me and said, I know you from somewhere. I know you from somewhere. God, where is it? I know your face from somewhere. And then I said, well, okay, I do films and I don't know, maybe you saw some of my movies. And they said, no, it's not that. Kona Kitchen. You own Kona Kitchen.
Macaroni salad.
Wow.
So
macaroni salad.
That's the moment, right?
Yes,
that's the moment. It's like, oh, all right, cool. My career is over as an actor, but
that's all right.
Restaurant.
That is a great story. That is a great story.
That's awesome.
I don't think people realize how amazing that is, Yuji, that you're able to have, that kind of a career in film and grind and kick ass. And then, you're also running a restaurant. I mean, that's not an easy thing to do. I don't think people understand. No. That's a whole different deal.
Yeah.
It's admirable. If I meet someone who has done the grind in a restaurant and then can also, do Cobra Kai, I mean, that's impressive. That's very impressive.
Impressive. Like
success in 2 lanes. That's unreal.
But I got to give credit where credit is due. Thank God for my family. Thank God for my wife.
Yeah.
She is the true hero of Kona Kitchen because she's in the mix, man. I'm away in Atlanta, Georgia, filming Cobra Kai and having a good time working with the cast and the crew and, having great lunches and, chit chatting and kicking back. And, granted, it's still a lot of work,
Sure.
but it's nothing like the day-to-day operations of a restaurant. And so she's the one that's behind the scenes, pulling all the strings. And so
Respect.
she's the true hero in this whole deal.
Much respect.
And yeah, oh man, she's awesome. So I think that's another thing that you got to think about is having that other person help you. You need to have, you can't do it all on your own.
That's a great point.
You need a great support system that will get you through.
Oh, that's perfect, man. Well, listen, Yuji, we want to really thank you for spending some time, for coming out, for checking out our new show. We're really excited about it. We have a lot of high hopes and goals for where we're going to take this thing. And you are now etched in history as the first guest member to ever be on Vino Vinyl Vici, which is huge, man.
Let's go.
Sweet. But first of all, thank you guys for having me on this podcast. It's been such a blast. You guys are awesome. Much love, much success to this particular show. And I enjoyed my time being here. But I want to give a big shout out to Trevor, who put this all together.
Yeah, absolutely.
He did a great job building the set and bringing the folks together. And I love the vibe. So thank you, Trevor, for bringing me in. And thank you, Eugene, for having me come up to be here in Nashville. And thank you to the folks of Nashville. It's always a pleasure being here. I love the city.
So moving forward, we're going to have, and this is for all of our viewers, we're going to have fantastic guests just like Yuji. We're going to have people who are going to want to come and spend some time and have a drink. And even for the non-drinkers, we're going to have an amazing glass of water for you. We might even get you some sparkling stuff. Who knows?
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Be on the lookout for us. Vino Vinyl Vici. It is not easy to say, but it is fun to watch, and you guys are going to love it. And we are just kicking things off. And I'm glad you guys already thank Trevor and Eugene. You guys helped make this thing happen, and we're going to take it to the next level every single week. See you guys soon, and thank you so much.
Vino Vinyl Vici is brought to you by 3 Strand Sports and Entertainment and is produced, recorded, and edited by Trevor Delling with Local Light Marketing Solutions. Thank you to our guest, our sponsors, and to 411 Music Group and artist Simon for our theme music. As always, please subscribe to the podcast and visit us at vvvpodcast.com to stay in touch.